Howdy y'all and welcome. Hope everybody's doing well out there so far. Let's never forget those lives who were lost over 23 years ago in New York City, Shanksville, and over there at the Pentagon. We can see the total number of lives lost on this day was about right around 3,000 people, with over 343 firemen, 23 NYPD officers, and 37 Port Authority officers as well. It took only 12 seconds for those towers to fall. Here are the names and the faces of those lives lost on this day 23 years ago. And here's an eerie photo of a fire truck heading towards the Twin Towers, where none of those firemen made it out. And really, America hasn't been the same since 2001. Over 3,000 lives lost. There's still people that are dealing with the after effects of this because of cancers and the Afghanistan war and, of course, suicide and all that. So let's take a moment of silence to pay tribute to those lives lost over 23 years ago. Alright, thank you guys. Now as we take a look at Francine, we can see it has strengthened into a Category 1 hurricane last night. And it's still a Category 1 hurricane this morning, with over 90 mile an hour sustained winds and 115 mile an hour wind gusts. It's expected to make landfall later tonight as a Category 1 hurricane with 90 mile an hour winds and really the same mile an hour wind gusts. Now there has been some reports of this strengthening into a Category 2, but I'm thinking it's still remaining a Category 1 as it makes landfall. But regardless of what category it is, please be aware of major flooding, storm surge, and high winds, of course. And keep in mind, the northeast side of hurricanes is typically associated with tornadoes. They typically call that the dirty side of the hurricane, so make sure you are aware of this if you are staying behind. But if you have evacuated, then there are storm chasers on the ground reporting on this as it makes landfall, so make sure you go follow some storm chasers that are out here. They'll keep y'all informed. So we take a look at the National Hurricane Center, really the same story as it was yesterday. Life-threatening storm surge, hurricane force winds, and heavy rainfalls. We take a look at the peak surge. Right around 5 to 10 feet of storm surge possible by Vermilion Bay, 2 to 6 feet down here by Mobile Bay, and down by Freeport, about 1 to 3 feet. Arrival time later tonight, of course. Take a look at the rainfall. Really a lot of rainfall, so definitely be aware of this if you've stayed behind from southeast Louisiana on over into the Panhandle, and be aware of the storm surge as Francine starts to move inland later tonight. Now there's also this 20% chance out here out by the Carolinas, so let's go and take a look at the wording. Y'all can pause the video anytime to read this if you want to. It's a pretty low end chance, but so was Francine. Francine was a low end chance too. You can see that moving in later tonight, causing a lot of problems for the next couple days. Now watch out here by the Carolinas. We're going to have some formation as soon as the 14th. Not expecting it to be much. Maybe some flooding and some high winds going to be possible by Tuesday. It starts to move inland, but again, not expecting much from it. So we take a look at a couple more chances out here in the main development region. Not expecting these to turn into much either. Expecting those to just recurve and go out there and just do the spinneroonie and become a major fish storm. As you can see, the main development region has a couple chances, but these are just expected to just recurve and become a fish storm and may just cause some heavy rainfall to much of the Caribbean islands, so definitely be aware of that here in the near term. So take a look at the Eastern Pacific. We actually have a 50% chance down here just west of Mexico, getting there in a little bit. Central Pacific, not much there. So let's go ahead and get into this 50% chance down here just west of Mexico. About 60% chance the next 7 days. Pretty good chance. Let's go ahead and take a look at the satellite imagery of what could be going on out here. As you can see, there is some clusters of storms down here just west of Mexico. And it's looking like it could impact much of the Baja down here. You can see there is some formation down there, so let's go ahead and take a look at the Eastern Pacific here on the GFS model. We can see we have that 50% chance down here just south of the Baja of California. Expected to churn along the Baja of California and cause a lot of problems. Now, we'll be monitoring this here in the near term as it could turn into a tropical storm or hurricane here in the near term. Now, it hasn't formed into anything yet. Keep that in mind. It's just a 50 to 60% chance of tropical storm development. But if it does form, I will be keeping an eye on this, and this will obviously cause a lot of problems for Mexico and the Baja of California, and it may move up into Arizona and New Mexico as we head into next week. So definitely, again, keep that in mind. And also keep in mind of Francine down here if you live down here by Louisiana, and that 20% chance in the Carolinas as well. So now that we covered, Francine is going to be moving in later tonight. It's going to be becoming a tropical depression as we head into the weekend. It's looking like it's going to stall out and cause major flooding. And we also got this 20% chance, which is going to mainly just become a big old rain and windstorm for much of the eastern half of the country. We can see we also got some snow up here in the northwest. Could be very chilly up there, of course. Very soggy up here in the north central part of the country. And watch as we head into the end of the month. We can see we're going to have some severe weather from Nebraska down into Texas and a major snowstorm up here in the upper elevations of Colorado. Send me any pictures of any snowfall if you get any out there, by the way. It's also good for some ski resorts if you have any out there too. It's looking like we could be coming in on a very stormy weather pattern for the central part of the country as we head into the end of the month. Still remaining soggy out here at the eastern half of the country and parts of the northwest, where it looks like some snowfall is going to be occurring up here in the northwest as well. And as we take a look at the Climate Prediction Center 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook from the 16th through the 20th, we can see much of the country is going to be way above average as far as precip goes, except for from Indiana up into the northeast and down here by New Mexico. Next 8 to 14 days, really the same story, although down here by the Baja, there's supposed to be a potential tropical storm heading towards y'all as soon as potentially this weekend into next week. I will monitor that. Hasn't formed it into anything just yet. Still a tropical development chance, but I will be monitoring that as it starts to move inland. Looking like some drought relief is going to be in store, y'all, so that's some good news. Take a look at that, actually. We can see really much of the country is pretty darn dry as of September 5th. So definitely could use the rain here from Washington down here into the southeast. So that's some good news, y'all. Now with snow expected up here from Colorado up into Idaho as we head into next week, let's take a look at the temperatures. Looks like we could be coming in on a very chilly pattern out there potentially. Now we have been coming in on a very chilly weekend, and it's looking like we're going to be coming back into the heat as we head into this weekend, unfortunately. And of course, we're still in the summertime, we're not in the fall yet. But it's looking like the western part of the country is remaining cool, while the eastern half of the country is going to be coming back into a major heat wave. But watch as we head into the first day of fall, which is on September 21st. It's looking like we could be cooling back down again here amongst much of the country. Dealing with very chilly air over there by Colorado. And it's looking like that hot air is going to start to retreat as we head towards the end of the month. But of course, we got to get past these hot temperatures, right? As you can see, central and eastern part of the country way above average, while the western half of the country is way below average. Next 8 to 14 days, really just about the same story as we head into the end of the month, although there could be some chilly air as we head into the end of the month, actually, so keep that in mind, as the first day of fall is right around September 21st, so get excited. And we'll actually have a winter outlook on that day, so make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss that, as it's looking like a crazy winter is going to be in store this year. So yeah, it's looking like a very soggy weather pattern is going to be in store for the next couple weeks, as well as the return of the heat for much of the country, although the western part is going to be coming in on some snowfall and some really chilly air. Now, if you're curious as to why we're going to be coming into this crazy weather pattern, well, it's because of our troughs and ridges. We're going to zoom out here on North America. Take a look at our troughs and ridges. We can see Francine moving in and a trough moving in out west with a major ridge amongst the north central and northeastern part of the country. You can see this is the reason why we're going to have those chilly temperatures out west, and we're going to be really hot for much of the central and eastern part of the country. We can see this 20% chance moving in as well as we head past the weekend into next week. And then watch as we head into right on the 20th. We're going to have some severe weather amongst the central part of the country because we got some warm air moving this way and some cold air moving this way. Of course, battle of the seasons means I don't know what to wear kind of season, of course. That's what we're in right now. And we can see as we head towards the end of the month, it's going to start to cool off, and we're going to be coming into a major trough. Could be dealing with some very chilly temperatures here at the end of the month, as we're going to be having some troughs and ridges battling it out here in September. Now, speaking of September and those cool temperatures, it's looking like we could be coming in on some more fall foliage here out in the mountain west. The higher elevations could be seeing some fall foliage out there. Send me some fall foliage pictures if you want to. I greatly appreciate it. Send it over my X and Facebook pages. I have my handles up there, of course, and I'll have the links down in the description down below. And I know I covered this yesterday, but it's looking like we have some birds that are going to be moving out, of course, due to Francine moving in, of course. It's looking like tomorrow more birds are going to start to move out, as well as on the 13th. Not much birds moving out on the 13th, though. And we currently have 82.4 million birds in flight. I do not know how they get this number, but apparently a lot of birds are going to be starting to migrate out. here in September. Of course, I did cover this yesterday, but if you didn't check out yesterday's video, here is the daylight that's going to be lost here in September. 100 minutes lost up by Montana, 40 minutes lost down by Florida. And I did promise a in-depth forecast video on the Gumball 3000 Supercar Rally if you're heading out to that. Here's the forecast from 14th to the 22nd. As far as precipitation goes, we move off into the 14th. See, it's going to be a pretty soggy rally for the entire rally, really. So definitely going to be coming in on some spotty showers. Going to be coming in on and off showers throughout the whole entire rally, all the way into the 22nd. So definitely make sure you have those wipers working on your car. And as far as temperatures go, move off into the 14th. It's looking like it's going to be a pretty warm rally. So that's some good news. Get out there and enjoy the rally if you're heading out there. Send me any pictures of some cars if you want to. If you're heading out there and you're watching this, I would greatly appreciate that. And go enjoy the rally. So I hope everybody enjoyed today's weather forecast. I know it's kind of a crazy forecast as Francine's going to be starting to move in later tonight. We also have a couple chances of tropical development. One out there by the Carolinas could be moving in as soon as next week by Tuesday. And we have one down by the Baja of California. Could be moving in and becoming a tropical storm as soon as this weekend potentially. I'll be monitoring those, of course, on X and Facebook, so go follow those pages if you want to. As far as our weather pattern for the next couple weeks, it looks like we could be coming in on a very stormy and soggy weather pattern for much of the southeast, central, and could be coming in on some snowy conditions up in the northwest as well as down there by Colorado. So if there's any snowfall pictures you want to send my way, send it over my X Facebook pages as well. I would greatly appreciate that. And let's not forget those lives that were lost on 9/11 back 23 years ago, as the country hasn't really been the same since that day, unfortunately. So again, like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate each and every one of y'all for watching. Stay safe out there if you're in the path of Francine. So again, like, comment, subscribe. Till next time, never stop forecasting.